great news today, and the Hobart Chargers and the whole basketball community, I think, should be celebrating this magnificent announcement by Wrest Point. We're thrilled to have signed Wrest Point up as a really key platinum partner for the Hobart Chargers. This means two things for us. One is the financial challenges of the club. No doubt we're always going to have to scrimp and save and see where we can earn money where we can, but what Wrest Point has done is put us on a financially sustainable footing going forward, which means everything we do from here on in is going to benefit the teams, benefit the club, and ultimately benefit the community. The second thing this announcement has done really is to make sure that we have a very strong women's program as well as a men's program. To that end, we've abandoned the name the Lady Chargers. We are now one club, the Telstra Hobart Chargers, and with the support of Wrest Point, we're going to have a very strong men's team, and we're going to have a very strong women's team for at least the next 3 years, and we're really excited about that. So thank you, Wrest Point.
Cheers, Dave. We're extremely excited at Wrest Point to be now a partner of the Chargers. They're a fantastic operation and have been for a long time, but probably have suffered from a lack of funding over the journey. So to be able to step in at this juncture and support them to grow, not just to grow on the court, but I think to grow off the court, is a really important thing for us to be able to do. We were concerned that the female side of basketball at the Chargers may well not go forward. So that was a particular spur for us to come to the party and ensure not just that the senior men's team was viable and successful, but that there was a really competitive set up for female basketball at that level in Tasmania as well. And look, being an employer who employs a great percentage of women on our site here of 750 staff, I think it's really important that there are those kind of mentors in the community for young females. So I think that is really, really important. As David mentioned, the deal it's a financial deal. We've put in $75,000 over the next 3 years for the Chargers. It's something that will help them take away some of those financial issues and get them to be able to concentrate on building a strategy for the future. And Wrest Point is really excited about being part of that future.
So it's a 3-year deal. Is that 3 years in line with the Chargers' plan to be MB already within 3 years?
Certainly we've had discussions with David around having an MB already signed, but look, in the short term, our support is behind David and his board to get a strategy he can take to the sporting community and have it well supported financially and well supported with bums on seats at stadium level as well.
You clearly believe in the vision that David's been touting now?
Yeah, absolutely. David and I have done some stuff over the journey. He once believed in the vision of mine, actually. Whether that might not have got you re-elected, but I certainly appreciate it. But I think we are very, very keen and confident that what has happened in the Chargers over the off-season to this point is the change in leadership has given us great confidence that there will be a strategy that as an organisation we are buying into and that we can hang our hat on and we can watch grow and we can help support it.
So, is that what's been holding Wrest Point back in the past from jumping on board the Chargers?
Oh, look, I think, to be frank, there may not have been the opportunity presented to us, number one. But it would be fair to say, number two, that as an organisation that likes to be successful, you want to be attached to successful organisations. And that's not just on the field, that's off the field, because success is about sustainability as well.
Where in particular will that money go to, or is it more
well,
the general?
It's been no secret that as coming in as president, I've inherited some financial challenges with the club. What this $75,000 will do will mean that we can pay our bills when they fall due, and that's a great thing, because what we want to make sure is to use this money not only to strengthen the club and particularly strengthen those pathways for the young men and women. There was 100-odd high school teams playing across southern Tasmania this weekend just gone by, and I want to build pathways for that participation through to peak performance playing and that's really with the Chargers. And what this financial stability will allow us to do now is build on that, go and find others in the business community who want to add to that, and that's very important to us. The job hasn't finished here, and therefore put a better product on the court, and therefore attract better crowds and be more financially sustainable. It's a simple equation, but ultimately we are, on the back of this announcement, going to be coming to visit all the other Tasmanian businesses and great brand names like Wrest Point and say, we have got a great product, we are now financially stable and sustainable, but to really live that basketball dream from participation to peak, we need your support as well.
How close are you to signing off with the Dewan Entertainment Centre and playing?
Well, look, as I've said, I've had proposals, and I want to congratulate both the Kingborough Council and the Glenorchy Council, because I've had proposals from both of them, and both councils have been really professional in the way they've dealt with us. My treasurer and I and the board are sitting down and looking at those proposals, crunching through some numbers. The two things I've said to the criteria are, it's got to be a great atmosphere, game night has to be great, and it has to be a better product for our sponsors and our supporters to bring their customers along, their staff along too as well. And secondly, it can't put the club at great financial risk. We're happy to take a small risk because we think the gains are going to be great, but it can't be a big financial risk because we need stability and certainty. I expect that over the next 3 to 4 weeks, can't put an absolute definite time on it, that our negotiations with both those councils will have come to a conclusion and we'll have some positive announcements to make.
What does having a name like Wrest Point attached mean for you, say, approaching the NBL, your ultimate ambitions there?
Well, look, ultimately, I've talked about wanting to be NBL ready. Now, we all need to understand what NBL ready means. To that end, I've opened a conversation with the CEO of the NBL, and I'm catching up with him for lunch in Melbourne in a couple of weeks' time, and he's promised to come down and watch a couple of Chargers matches next year, and so that conversation's open, but it's a long journey ahead, and the very first step we have to take on that journey is getting the great brand names of Tasmania, like Wrest Point, and I can name a number of others that I'm going to be darkening their doorstep, those great brand names of Tasmania who want to say that we support basketball in Tasmania, we support the ambitious plans that you've got, they're going to need to dip into their pockets as well. And that's the really most important step for us to get NBL ready.
What's the latest on the season? Debt-free? Given the troubles you had at the back end of this year?
I have a very strong plan that's now been signed off by the board. It has 4 goals in it. The first is to be strong on the court. We want to win. We're going to be strong in the community. We want to engage the kids in schools, the clubs, the community of basketball more widely. We're going to be strong at the bank account. I intend to retain between 2 to 5% of revenue this year as a cash asset, and every other year after that, so we get to the end of that 3 years with cash in the bank and not going from crisis to crisis. And fourth, I want us to be strong for the future, and that I think means NBL ready. What I really want to do today is say a very big thank you on behalf of the basketball community and on behalf of the Chargers teams for Wrest Point's support, and use that as a call out to other great Tasmanian brands to say, get on board, because we're heading for a great future.
It's a pretty serious bid for an A-League team happening in Tassie at the moment. Does it help or hinder your NBL goals in the coming years?
Look, I don't know that it helps or hinders, but I'm a soccer fan too, to be honest, and love the round ball game, no doubt about it, and it'll be great. One of the things that Tasmania needs to do, and one of the things we will be taking to government as the basketball community, not just the Chargers, when the basketball community can speak with one voice to government and with one voice to its sponsor community as well, that's when we've got the best opportunity to participate at the very highest levels. I wish soccer all the very best with their bid. My 100% focus is going to be on basketball, and not just becoming NBL ready, but creating an extraordinary journey along the way for these young women over here to participate in and to be part of.